Hello spooky friends and welcome back to the channel. So today we're off to the Jamaica Inn. This is on Bodmin Moor in Cornwall in England, of course. And this place is actually very famous for its hauntings. Famous novelist Daphne du Maurier stayed there on several occasions after she became lost on the moors. She was rescued and brought back to the Jamaica Inn, where she learned of its sort of horrific history with smugglers and spirits, and she wrote a novel about it which catapulted it into the mainstream media. Now, ever since, people have been flocking here to hold paranormal investigations. It's been on TV shows like Most Haunted. So I think you're really going to enjoy this one. I really enjoyed my visit there. If you're returning, thank you very much and welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers now, and every subscribe really helps me out. Without further ado, I'll see you on the other side. Nestled on the bleak and windswept Bodmin Moor in Cornwall, England, the Jamaica Inn is a historic coaching inn with a reputation steeped in tales of smuggling, mystery, and the supernatural. Since its establishment in 1750, the inn has been a haven for travellers and a hotspot for smugglers. Its eerie ambience and isolated location have contributed to a plethora of ghost stories, making it one of the most haunted places in England. The Jamaica Inn was originally built to serve as a coaching inn, providing a resting place for weary travellers crossing the treacherous Bodmin Moor. Its location, far from prying eyes, made this an ideal meeting place for smugglers who used the rugged terrain to their advantage. The inn gained notoriety in the 18th and 19th centuries as a smuggling hub, where contraband goods such as brandy, tea and tobacco were stashed. Daphne du Maurier's famous novel Jamaica Inn, published in 1936, further cemented its legendary status, weaving a fictional tale of intrigue and criminality that has captivated readers for generations. One of the most enduring ghost stories associated with the Jamaica Inn involves the spirit of a murdered smuggler. Legend has it that this unfortunate man was lured into a trap and killed on the moors outside the inn during a botched smuggling operation. His restless spirit is said to haunt the inn, manifesting in various forms. Guests and staff have reported seeing a shadowy figure, dressed in old-fashioned attire, often accompanied by an overwhelming sense of dread. The smuggler's ghost is particularly active in the bar area, where he was last seen alive. Witnesses have described hearing disembodied footsteps, the sound of heavy boots echoing on wooden floors, and have affectionately named this man Jack. Jack was first sighted in 1907, where he manifested sitting on the wall outside the inn. He did not respond to passers-by that attempted to engage him, nor show any sign of having seen or heard them. The mysterious man disappeared after a time, but has been seen on several occasions throughout the years. Another well-known apparition at the Jamaica Inn is the lady in the long dress. This ghost is often seen on the upper floors of the inn, wandering the corridors and occasionally appearing in guest rooms. Described as wearing a long flowing dress from a bygone era, she exudes an aura of melancholy. Some speculate that she may be the spirit of a former innkeeper's wife, or a tragic figure connected to the inn's smuggling past. The lady in the long dress has been known to interact with the living, gently touching guests or appearing at the foot of their beds. Her presence, while unsettling, is not considered malevolent. Room 5 at the Jamaica Inn is reputed to be the most haunted room in the entire establishment. Guests who have stayed in this room have reported a variety of strange occurrences, from objects moving on their own to sudden drops in temperature and the feeling of being watched. Some have even claimed to have seen a full-bodied apparition, including the ghost of a young girl that has been affectionately named Hannah, and the lady in the long dress. You can find toys inside the room 5's wardrobe, along with letters guests have left for the spirit. Many believe this room serves as a portal to the other side, allowing spirits to manifest more readily. Other notable ghosts include a man in a tricone hat that has been spotted in room 4 as well as wandering the corridors. In the adjacent room 3, guests are known to hear the wails of a crying baby, while others report also hearing a crying woman. Further along the corridor, in room 6, an older couple complained about the furniture shaking. Furthermore, both the toilets and the gift shop are also said to be haunted. The inn's haunted reputation has been featured in various medias, including television shows, documentaries, and books dedicated to paranormal phenomena. This widespread attention has cemented its status as one of England's premier haunted locations, ensuring a steady stream of visitors eager to encounter its ghosts. So, whether you're a believer of the stories or not, join me as we ask, is the Jamaica Inn really haunted?
Hello spooky friends, and today we are at the infamous Jamaica Inn. This is in Bodmin, Cornwall, and as you can see behind me, this is quite a large place. This is the original section, and over here is the museum. Main bar and hotel entrance here, and then the newer portion of the hotel over here. While we're out here, this wall here is where one of the very first sightings, or the very first sighting of a ghost happened in 1911. A strange man was seen sitting on this wall, and he completely ignored passers-by when they tried to talk to him, interact with him in any way, and eventually he just disappeared. Now, over the years, there have been many sightings of this man in the same place. He just appears sitting on this wall and disappears after a period of time. Our bedroom for the night is actually just down here, so we've got a good view of this wall. So if anything were to happen tonight, I should imagine we've got a good chance of seeing it. Let's check out the inside. Okay, so this is our room for the night. Tonight we are in room 17. This is in the newer section of the building, but according to the staff, that doesn't actually matter. There's been a lot of reports of paranormal sightings here. So we've got one camera set up here. It's facing into the bathroom, just in case, and the second one here should capture the rest of the room. Right, so here is the view of that wall outside the front of the inn, where the man is said to appear and disappear at random. That's the view from our bedroom, and now these cameras, I did actually ask if it would be okay if we could set them up in like the bar area, one of the larger areas for the night, and obviously when it was closed, but unfortunately we're not allowed to, so the only area we can film with them is going to be here. But, as I was saying earlier, we are in the newer section of the hotel. But there was a lady not long ago who was staying in this section, and she said she was being harassed by spirits, whether you believe that or not, and they wouldn't let her sleep. So eventually she left her room and she actually went to sleep in this room at the end of the hall, and they found her sleeping there in the morning, and that's when she told them. That's kind of interesting. Apparently she was annoying the spirits too much, she thought, and they wouldn't leave her alone, so perhaps that's what we will be doing tonight. Right, so we are now inside the small museum area of the Jamaica Inn. This is an area that's open to both the public and people that are staying here. They do paranormal nights here, obviously, and this is one of the areas where they focus on. A small Victorian girl has been seen around about this area here, and also the figure of the ghost they affectionately call Jack is known to primarily appear in this sort of area. So it's not very big, but we can come around here a bit. So
So it's very quiet, we are the only people in here. So Jack, if you're here, can you move something for us? Just make a noise, I know you're a bit of a prankster. We are here for the rest of the night, and apparently he's also been seen in the corridor between rooms 5 and 6. So perhaps we'll check out that later on tonight when it gets a bit darker.
Anyone that's familiar with the legend of King Arthur and Excalibur, this was actually mentioned in the legend. This is the pool where Excalibur's sword came from in some versions of the tale, and when King Arthur was dying, he asked them to return the sword to the lake, and when they threw it into the lake, a thin, like siren-like hand rose from the lake and took the sword back down. Very big and very peaceful. Right guys, so now it is dark out, as you can probably tell. We're in the corridor between rooms 3 and 7, and it is here that apparently the sounds of babies crying have been heard along this stretch of corridor. Now in room 7, which is actually just here, there's people in there. There were 2 women staying in that room recently, talking, and a voice told them to be quiet because there was a baby sleeping, and there obviously was nobody in there with them. But the noises have been heard all the way up and down this corridor in the past. Room 3 here, just to my right. Light bulbs flickering quite violently here. Just looking for room 5 now. Okay, so this is room 5, end of the corridor. And here there is actually basically Hannah, they've named it, the wet-footed girl ghost. And a guest woke up to see wet footprints leading from the side of their bed to a wardrobe in the corner of the room, which actually used to be a bathroom. It's in there, and again, the space is actually quite busy. Sounds like there's people in there as well, so I'm going to move on, show you a bit more of the place now it's night time. Right then guys, so now we are going through to the newer part of the hotel again. We're on the lookout for room 27, which actually appears to be through this way. Okay, so there's 27. So room 27, after a night of paranormal studies here, they do ghost investigations at this place quite often. A bloke was apparently just falling asleep, and he looked over to the end of his bed, and a woman in full Victorian dress just materialised sitting in the chair at the end of his bed with her hands folded in her laps, and she disappeared very quickly afterwards. Just in there, so would have been cool to be in there tonight, but hey ho. And on the corridors in general, we're of course looking out for several other ghosts. There's Jack. There's a burly man, which is thought to be something to do with the old blacksmiths across the road. And there's also the ghost of a pirate type figure in a tricone hat. This chap in a tricone hat is said to be just wandering the halls late at night. Again, so far, as far as I can tell, it's very quiet here. Go back down here. And now we're at the far end of the corridor from where we just went upstairs through there. And we are clear. This corridor here is apparently one of the spots where the mischievous Victorian girl with the long flowing hair has been seen by staff. Short corridor, it's just a fire exit down the far end, and the toilet block's just behind me here. I do apologise for my appearance throughout this video. I have a bit of a cold at the moment. Unfortunately, there's nothing here at the moment. So behind me here now is the staff door to the kitchens, and this is where recently a 16-year-old girl said she saw a young US Navy man in full uniform coming out through this door and just disappearing before her eyes. So if you look around here, there's not really. You're coming from there, that's the bar. Down there, behind me here is reception, and where our room is back there. So there's nowhere for him to have really disappeared to. Yeah, that's one of the last ghosts on our little tour here. And just here is the reception desk. Got a big old ledger for the guests to sign. Some quite interesting entries here. We've got one. I heard the steps. That was 2 months ago. So this is back in 2014. Lovely place, got loads of confirmation of spirits, boy and girl, Jack, not nice, lady in black on stairs, lady in white holding lantern in this lobby, man outside counter, selling beer, thought killed man round throat, 19-year-old with one shoe on walking through back working stables, skinny man. So apparently this one person saw everything in one night in August 2014.
So, interestingly, the motion censored cameras in both the bedroom and the bathroom triggered multiple times throughout the night. I think the bathroom one went off at least 20 times, although nothing's actually visible on it. The EVP that we did turned up nothing, so I'm just playing a couple of these clips in the background here in case you see something that maybe I don't. It's very strange, as I say, because I've never had them trigger for no reason, just for nothing. But yeah, could well have been something that I just couldn't see on the camera. So then guys, that was the Jamaica Inn in Cornwall. What did you think of that one? Me personally, I will probably say this place is likely to be haunted, although I didn't experience anything I can really sink my teeth into, shall we say. There is the motion censored camera footage, which, as I said earlier, is very strange because they haven't gone off on their own, especially not as frequently, well, as they did there. But no, they've never gone off on their own like that before. Speaking to the staff there, as I always do, I didn't get anything to include in the video, but there was one of the receptionists I spoke to. She'd worked there for a couple of years, but she'd never actually seen or heard anything. But then several other members of staff had seen things, and obviously I included a clip from the barmaid where the telephone lifted itself off the hook at the start. That was quite interesting. But yeah, that's one of many occurrences there. So do let me know. I'd love to hear if you've been there yourself, or maybe you're planning on going there soon. I'd love to chat with you about it down in the comments. And my next video is going to be the Lord Howden Country Hotel. That's a very strange place. That's all I'm going to say for now. It's a very strange place. That video will be out next week. And thank you very much for watching. Stay spooky and be kind to each other.